Okay, I can hear. I can hear.
Am I coming through all right?
Yeah, yeah, you good. You good now.
All right.
Just reading a few more of these chats. Ozzy said social media changed everything across the world. Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, it changed the game, bro. my, this is not my words, but this one guy, he said if you really want to, he said these days you gotta have a woman in a rural setting, and he said if she got a cell phone, you got a child locker phone. I was like, he said you got a child locker phone, man. So how do the child locks work? Do they restrict you from going to certain websites or time restriction? Because I thought it was funny, even though I know he was laughing but serious. But uh, let me know how does the child lock work? I want to get context on why he would have said that. Marty W says some women will not break their culture to deal with you. That's true.
Mhm.
Um, no matter how much self improvement you do, you're not like them. That's true. He said height trumps game, and he said Buck says women. Hold on, women want tall men because they want taller kids. That's true too. That's true too. King Tao said, I know and I have known a lot of short dudes who get mad chicks, no problem. Yeah. He said, being educated doesn't make you intelligent. I know plenty of idiots with degrees. Yeah. I mean, everybody get love, right? Dark skinned dudes go places and get love. Short dudes, winning. A lot of short dudes is winning in the US. Look at Country Wayne. You know what I mean? That man got women throwing themselves at him. Look at Ti. Ti used to get so many chicks like Ti. Still to this day. You know what I mean? Even so it's it, every more than one thing can be true at the same time. And I'm gonna get these brothers in real quick. As El said, height is not important in most of these countries, especially where the women are significantly short. I'm 5'10", but most chicks I talk to in Colombia think I'm tall. Yeah, but there may be situations where there are women that want. Put it like this: if you run across women that want a taller man, is it something to complain about, or just take it on the chin? You know what I mean? That is that part of the game? He said giving the y'all paying the six though. That ain't treating her like a 10. Yeah, if you treating her like a 10, then that yeah. Tia said American fives be acting like tens because of thirsty dudes. All right, cool, man. So I got Ronin and Pan African Capitalist, man. What you got, Ronin, man? What's your thoughts so far?
I mean, it started off with the height thing, and then I started questioning some other things, and somebody hit it a little bit in the chat. While we look for women of substance overseas, you also have to bring that when you're going overseas. You have to be a man of substance.
Mhm.
It ain't just your looks, it's your height, it's your intelligence, how stable you are, where your resources are coming from, your life experience. Women want to feel like they can ingrain themselves in you and you have something to show them.
Mhm.
What is Austin really projecting? What are some of these young men projecting when they go overseas, beside for a short time? Do they have stability? Are they projecting that resource that woman can kind of wrap themselves around? There's a lot of things that aren't being discussed when you go overseas and women look at you. Same way they look at you here, they looking at you there overseas the same way. What are you providing? Beside for your looks and maybe a little bit of wealth temporarily while you're here for 2 weeks. Where's the longevity at? Where's the stability at? Where are the resources at? You get what I'm saying? Why am I going to give up what I'm doing here right now in this country when you get ready to leave? I ain't got shit to fucking fall back on.
Right.
So we got to really open up the broad range of this discussion because it ain't just about looks. There's other things that go along with that. You know what I'm saying? I have plenty of young women that come after me because of the other things, besides for just my height, weight. And I'm 6'2". I look like a fucking tank when I'm walking around. You know, so that has nothing to do with it. You know, there's other things that go on right along with that. And I'm gonna land my plane so somebody else can talk.
What up, Pan African capitalist? You could unmute your mic, bro.
What's going on, brothers?
Nothing much, man. How you
Can
doing?
y'all hear me? Y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing, right? It's very different overseas than it is in the US. One of the reasons being is one thing I realized living overseas, right? I live part-time in Africa, and I lived in Africa for about 18 months consistently. And what I had to realize is that every woman wants something different. Not all women are want the same things, right? You
Right.
got some women, they want money. You got some women, they looking for true love. You got some women, maybe they just want a good sexual experience. So all of those things kind of play a factor. When you talk about the US versus overseas, I don't care what country you're in most cases, a dime, which is a very rare percentage of the population, like a real dime.
Right.
Most what these dudes calling dimes ain't dimes, they eights and nines. To be honest with you, but a real dime, the barrier to entry in most cases is going to be financial. Just the maintenance on a dime is going to be expensive.
Exactly.
She got to go to the spa. She needs makeup. She needs all her creams and all this type of hygienic stuff. She needs to get her eyebrows waxed, legs waxed, armpits waxed.
For you
Just
and
the
everybody
maintenance
else.
alone. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. As far as the 8 and 9s, for me personally, I would say that 8s and 9s, 7, 8s and 9s are a lot easier to get overseas in the US.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because number one, you have you seem to have a lot more 8s and 7, 8s and 9s in some of these countries. The main country that we talk about, Brazil, Colombia. And the reason that is because if you look at Brazil, countries like Brazil and Colombia are countries that are considered by, most people to generally have some of the most beautiful women, is that a lot of the women are cheating the game. They're cheating the system. And what I mean by that is you have not only do you have a higher beauty standard with those women where they know how to use the makeup and the enhancement and stuff like that, but it's also a higher amount of plastic surgery that's going on in these countries. So if you look at it, when you go to a lot of these countries, like let's say if you go to like the United States, typically what you see is most women have either one or the other. You might have a very attractive chick in the face, but she may not have no body. Like she may be real skinny, may have small breasts. Or you may have a chick that's the opposite. May not be that attractive in the face, but she has a banging body. What a lot of chicks in these countries that we love so much are doing is they're improving upon their natural ability. So if the chick is most Colombian chicks are already cute. You know what I'm saying? They already have a pretty face, most of the ones that I see. What they do is they'll get that surgery. They might get a little bit of work done on their butt. They might get a nose job. They might get some dental done. They might get some boob job. So what they doing is they may be a natural 6, but by the time they get the work done, they like an 8 or 9. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You brought something I heard. It was a clip. It was like Pimpin' Ken and another guy. And he
Pippin
was,
Ken and the game guy Goldie. I know what you talking about.
yeah, he was like, man, he was like, why spend all this money for a 9 or 10? I'm just paraphrasing, but for a 9 or 10, he was like, you could build you a bad bitch. You know what I mean? I'll take a 6 and 7
Like
and
a
put.
build a
That's
bear.
facts
He said,
though.
I'm a build a bear.
That's
Bruh.
fact. 30,000 or less, and you could turn you a
I've done
5
that
or a
before,
6
believe me.
into
I
a
brought some
8, 9.
boobs. I ain't gonna lie. I brought boobs before.
And the thing about in like Brazil and Colombia, is they don't go crazy with the BBLs like in the States. You know, most of these chicks they get in a big old crazy BBL. You know what I'm saying? Out
Mhm.
there, from what I've seen, it's a little bit more moderate. And not only that, but they maintain it well. Like, okay, they get the little surgery, but they still going to the gym every day. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the big difference, is the reason why it's easier to get the 6A7s, you know what I'm saying, in overseas than it is in the United States. Not only that, but the men out there don't give a damn. Like I can't speak on every country, but I know like in Colombia, yo, man, them Colombian dudes be having about 3, 4, 5, 6 different baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they see a beautiful chick, a guy from the States might be like going crazy, like, oh man, this chick's so bad. You know, they falling in love and all this type of shit. They like them dudes out there, like, she cool, you know, they nonchalant with it. So it's like when all the men in your country, like really, your beauty doesn't phase them, you really can't be arrogant like chicks in the United States. Like it's dudes in Colombia, like local dudes them talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They still live with their parents. They got 3, 4 baby mamas, and all of them nice.
Let
You
me
know what I'm
answer this.
saying?
Let me answer this question real quick. Lee said the question is, after you make her a dime, will she switch up on you when she's getting attention from other men?
Yep.
It's how you police. It's how you control that situation. Now, if I got a regular chick, I'm putting money into like a nice outfit. We going out to the club or going out wherever, and she's looking like a baddie. You know what I mean? She's with me. I'm not sending her out with her girls on a girls trip. No, she's with me. You know what I mean? So if you got control of that situation,
But
you know what I
eventually
mean?
she's gonna walk out of your sight. Some nigga's gonna walk up to her and try to get her number and talk to her when she's not around you. So you either trust her or you don't before you put in the money.
Well,
And
you
you're
gotta
gonna
be,
know what your investment's gonna bring back.
well for
It's
me.
gonna cause more attention, first of all. So you're gonna get more attention to that chick the minute you upgrade her.
Well, I gotta be in control. If I won't be in, I won't put myself in that situation unless I can't control the environment. I
I
have to
don't
be.
care. It was dirt money to me at that point. I
Yeah,
brought booze before. I'll tell everybody I brought booze before. It's no big deal.
yeah.
Dated a chick for 5 years. So
Well,
what?
I'm not worried about if I put money into a chick, her leaving, because I'm not gonna put money into a chick that I can't control the environment.
Eventually you're not gonna be able to, bro. I'm just gonna tell you from experience. You either gonna have to trust her or you gonna have to put a
I
fucking
think
a
I
little
think
transistor in her
hold on,
arm.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I think I'm a different type of nigga.
Okay.
I think I'm a different type of nigga.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Okay.
I want to say this. This is I want to say this real quick. Men, we have to command. You may not always get respect, but you have to command respect. And so I'm gonna use this example, right? So if I'm in a restaurant and black women are good at this. So if you're in a restaurant, you getting shitty service, or if you feel like a group of white people are getting certain attention, and you know your food is laid and blah blah blah, I'm not gonna sit there and let nobody disrespect me like that. They gonna get checked. I'm gonna be like, excuse me, why didn't I get my? They're gonna have to explain to me, and if they can't explain to me, I want to see your manager. I'm gonna call the scene.
Right.
If you don't get respect, you as a man, you should command respect. I've been in Brazil, and a white lady. I was getting off the airport, going through baggage claim. A white lady was rushing, and she like bumped my shoulder. I didn't brush that off. I'm like, excuse me, you bumped into me. Like, you let people, when people know that you aren't to be played with, then they're gonna respect you. If I was in that restaurant and I addressed the situation, trust me, the next time me and my group of friends went in that restaurant, I promise you that situation wouldn't repeat itself. So we have to command respect, one. And then two, guys may not agree with this, but I like to flex. I like to flex because that's another way of commanding respect, right? So I use that example of like All In Brazil, right? And so you could be in this club and no woman's giving you attention. Now in the US, this is where the attention comes. Y'all want a hot side, y'all want a hot side in the club. And when I come out and that Range Rover pull up, because I park VIP, or that GT Continental pull up, and now you see what car I'm about to hop into. Women be bopping. They flock. So and that's your way of flexing. So to flex like that, you gotta have money. You know what I mean? Whenever a chick, we used to use this term hot side. When a chick hot side on you, you have to flex on her to let her know what's up. If somebody disrespect you, you have to check them on site. I just wanted to get that off, man.
Okay.
Ronin.
Yeah.
What's good, man?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. And I could say, yeah, 100%. But I'm going to push back a little bit. I'm the fucking prize. That means what you won't do, I can find 5 other chicks that will. You either get on my program or get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going to have to flex on you just to prove that I'm that guy that you need to stay with. Bitch, you should know when you came through the door who you dealing with. You get what I'm saying? It's not the same. I'm not going to have to throw my money out there to do the things I need to do to prove to you that you shouldn't talk to nobody else. You should be avoiding them niggas because you don't want me to see that there's a potential for you to leave. Because you already know there could be 4 or 5 other chicks sitting in line waiting.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's just the way I float. Everybody knows about everybody else. If I'm dating multiple women, guess what? I don't hide the fact. You got to know what your routine is. I used to take chicks on trips. I had one girl that had priority first. You have first right of refusal. You say no, guess what? The other chicks got fucking the ability to accept. You think that first one that had first right of refusal ever turned me down when I said I'm ready to take a trip? Mm-hmm. Hell no. She didn't want to lose that position.
Yeah.
That's how you flex. Really. Without throwing all your money out there. Without worrying about getting a gold digger, just looking at what you got, putting out there, projecting what you got, coming after you for that versus who you really are.
I mean, it's part of respect too. I mean, you get if you pulling up in a nice whip and you got, you know, I'm not a jewelry person, but if you look like money, like you get people respect
Lee,
that too.
And to answer Lee's question, it does sound good until she meets another provider. And then she's always going to have a choice, just like I always have another choice to say whether I'm going to stay loyal to her. That's a whole thing. You can't sit there and kill yourself mind's eye worrying about what that chick's choice is going to be. You will never get anything done in life if you're sitting there worrying about the other one. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. And I'm going to say this from the back of when I was in the military. You think I was able to get missions done if I had to worry about my wife back home and my kids and figure out what the fuck she was doing? Hell no. You have to prioritize things in your life, man. You can't sit here and worry about what that chick's going to do. If you know you can't fucking trust her, then you need to fucking kick her out. Why are you sitting there wearing yourself to death, getting anxiety and depression and all that shit, wondering what the fuck she's doing while you making all kind of wop? When you know damn well you can walk out the door and get another one. She ain't making it, you making it. You the prize, right? So why are you sitting here worrying about what the fuck she gonna do? She needs to worry about what the fuck you're gonna do.
I'm gonna push back on that, but let me get Backpack Val. What's good, Backpack? Go
ahead, what is shaking, my good brother? What's shaking?
What's up, Backpack?
What's going on? What's going on? Now, just thanks for having me on. I just wanted to say that, like, where did we come to as a society of men to where, you know, like we're constantly complaining about, where we fare amongst women, whether it's in the States or overseas. So I thank you for, bringing this topic up because this offers a simple solution to the matter at hand. You know what I mean? Like, hey, just go where you remember having the best experience because like it's just giving off feminine energy at this point where guys just complaining like, oh, they're not tall enough, they're not good looking enough. Like, what the hell? Like, were y'all misled or something like that by a content creator that told you that, hey, you could go overseas looking like whatever the hell you want, and the women are gonna come flocking to you. You know what I mean? Like, are people just realizing that it's gonna take a little effort, no matter where you are, to get the girl that you do want? You know, like, I just have all these questions because I'm just confused as to how we got to this point. You know?
That's a good question, man. How do we get to the point of it could be
So,
entitlement.
bro,
I mean, it could be entitlement to a lot of people. But I know you wanted to say something real quick, Pan African capitalist.
I was gonna say a lot of dudes think we still living in the year 2000 or something, bro. Where it's like women from these countries don't have social media and internet, like they've never met a foreigner before.
Man,
Back 20, 24 years ago, 20 years ago, you could be a 400 pound dude and the baddest chicks in Thailand to be all on you, trying to get
are you going in and out, bro?
Yeah, we can't hear you right now.
Struggle streaming.
those days are gone, bro.
You got to repeat like the last minute of what you just said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we hear you.
Okay, I was just saying like back 10, 20 years ago, you can go to a country and be the ugliest dude in the world, 300 pounds overweight, broke as hell, and
Yeah,
chicks will go for it. You might get an 8 or 9 or 10. But
yeah.
this is not 10, 20 years ago because the thing
Hold
is
on, Pan. Yeah,
social
you
media has
moving a little bit.
so it's not a situation where you like the only foreigner the only person from the United States that they've ever seen.
Right. So
Yeah.
that basically you're confirming you need to have more than just
So
that. You need to have substance.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I mean, yeah. I mean, like even like a lot of places, like a lot of the white guys kind of been to first, and they kind of had they pick. Then once brothers start coming in and more swag, more money start coming in, some of the white guys felt the pressure. Like, damn, these niggas is raising a bar. You know what I mean? So that's part of the game. That's why you even have a choice of improving, competing, or moving around. You
Right.
know what I mean? People say DR is
exactly.
not the same, which is not. So if I wanted to fuck with DR, I gotta spend more money. Or I could just go to another country where the barrier entry is lower. You know what I mean? So it's a game. That's why I call this the travel game. This is a travel game, man.
Because I mean, look,
You gonna make a board
if you
game out of this,
improve
huh?
yourself, if you improve yourself, you're just gonna make it a better situation for you. Whether it's fitness, personality, social skills, money. That's all what it boils down to. Like
Right.
we know that's not necessarily the situation in the United States. It may be a different matter, but everywhere else, the more you improve yourself, the better your dating situation is going to be. So it's like all this complaining and shit. I'm with the brother at the bottom, man. All this complaining and shit, like that's some feminine ass shit, man. You gotta play the game
Exactly.
and get the
It's
best.
facts.
Go where you're treated best and get the best options you could get.
Because I want to ask, because no excuse. I think you've been in this YouTube streets longer than I have. I've been around like since what 2019 and whatnot. But like I'm pretty sure when you came in too, you weren't really hearing these types of conversations to where we had to have a live stream like this talking about, hey, like why don't you just go where you feel appreciated and whatnot. Because when I first got here, I was hearing about guys and their success stories overseas. Like I remember when I first recalled seeing you at BMT's channel. I think you were talking about Brazil and South Africa.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like examples like that, like guys like winning. You know what I mean? But this is when I first started coming. But now, like we're hearing conversations of like guys getting rejected, or women don't really like us, or the white men are preferred more than we are. When these things weren't even a topic when I first started, you know what I'm saying, acclimating myself in this
Yeah.
travel niche.
Nor did
Yeah,
it matter.
yeah. I mean,
Exactly. It didn't. Right? It wasn't
It
even a
didn't matter.
topic.
I mean, Brazil wasn't. I didn't. How should I say this? Brazil wasn't as sweet for me like Colombia, DR, but I just moved around. I'm like, y'all can have Brazil. You got it. I didn't really need to cry, and it is what I just took it. I just took for what it was. I mean, we supposed to be as content creators in the travel space. We supposed to be like, I visited these countries. This is the countries where I've had the most success at. If you look at me as your peer, or I'm a reflection of you, then maybe you'll have the same success as me. You know what I mean? So I only promote countries that I love, where I feel like I have the most success or most business opportunities or whatever outcomes that I'm looking for. That's what I promote the most. The countries that don't fit that, I'll point out the pros and cons, but it's still up to you. It's up to you to visit and make that judgment for yourself. But
Right, move around. Everybody's experience is not the same.
the problem is, I don't want to say it's a problem because I do it too. Because I consider myself the voice of popular opinion, and when I say popular opinion, that means that I feel like at least 50% of men are going to have the same perspectives that I have. So I feel like I have popular opinion. I feel like I've proved that. But if you haven't proven yourself to have popular opinion, you're going to get a lot of pushback because people are going to say, I don't know if the majority of men will kind of see things the way you see. But Buck just
And that
came
that
up.
dude, that's crazy. Like, why? Okay, that's what I don't understand. Like what the brother just brought up. If you're going to countries and you're getting seven, eights, nines, why are you complaining that another group of men are getting more seven, eights, and nines? That's
Correct.
crazy to me.
Like there's not
It's
enough to
like,
go around.
yo, I won the $4 million lottery, but he won the $6 million lottery.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. That is an excellent point. Real
And
quick,
it's
hey,
just like, hey, yo, choose a better chick next time. Like, it's really that simple. But hey,
now
who am
now
I?
now backpack Val, like, what countries have you been to, and out of those countries, are those countries where you just felt like you were received better, or you had more success, or you feel like all of them been kind of like the same?
Uh, hmm, obviously Colombia, DR, Costa Rica, and I would say Singapore and Thailand as well. I went to Malaysia, but Malaysia is a little more, on the conservative side. Like I would need a lot more time to, build rapport with women and
Yeah.
get to that point. But I wasn't even there for that. But those countries I just mentioned.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
I mean, for me, like I said, Colombia. I mean, Colombia was the sweetest country for me in Latin America when it comes to Africa. I mean, Africa. South Africa, I would say been good. But for me, Uganda, like a lot of people were surprised, like Uganda, man, the love is just on a whole nother level, man. And some people didn't like Uganda. Some people
You
don't like, huh?
you're the first person that I've heard to put in a positive word about Uganda. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, Peso Man is up there right now. He lives there, and also Duke Jackson also lives there. But salute to the panel, bro.
What's going on, Buck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll take it, Buck.
I just want to give my thoughts on this, man. In regards to your title, no excuse, because I feel like what we need to do is we need to start profiling guys. I definitely 100% agree with you. We need to profile guys and say, okay, if he's not having success overseas, we got to start calling guys out. Start calling out the metrics. Okay, so what is your height? What is your height? We got to call it out. What is your stats? Because like because we can't be giving guys benefit of the doubt. You know, like if one guy have success in one country and another guy doesn't have success in another country, that means that guy, I mean, it's everybody's circumstances is always going to be different. But
Right.
if you're having a problem overseas in a particular country, then we need to figure out why. I feel like we need to get to the base of why is that happening.
Yeah, that's why I called out what Austin's height was in the chat, and then like I said, you got to come with substance after that. If you meant a match up to 6 foot, you 6 figures, what else are you bringing to the table? Are you going to wind up being a fuckboy in that country? Or are you actually going to bring something to the table where a woman can get behind you and want to stay with you, if that's what you're looking for? If you're looking just to be a fuckboy, then be a fuckboy, shut the fuck up and keep moving.
But that's the problem right there. A lot of guys are confused with their intentions when they go overseas looking for a woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they don't know if they want to be in a relationship, an exclusive one, or whether or not they want to mess with every girl they can get in contact with. And it's like, I don't know.
I mean, I just don't get the complaining part, because every country, I've been over 10 countries, right? Every place I've been to, I had a good time.
I've been well received myself.
I literally had a good time. Then when I come back to the States, I'm like, oh fuck, man, I gotta back to the usual schedule. And I'm like, bro, every time when I'm overseas, man, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself and using that time off. It's like, what is there to complain about? I feel like this Austin Holloman dude, he's being nitpicky on certain things.
Yeah, that's the thing about what you just said, right? A lot of so every country, you're not gonna be able to have your way with the women. That's what a lot of dudes don't understand.
Right.
Every country does not have a casual hookup scene type culture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can hook up with chicks in any country, to be honest, but it's gonna be way harder to have casual sex with a chick in Morocco than it is to have casual sex with a chick up in Colombia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can do it. It's possible. But it's gonna be like day and night.
Yeah, you like you said, it's no reason to complain. Like I always use this example, right? When I lived in Chicago versus living in Houston. When I lived in Chicago, man, and a lot of guys say, man, I ran through chicks in Chicago. When I lived in Chicago in college, like I went through droughts. I mean, droughts. I mean, I'll walk up to a chick and she'd be like, give you that look, or I tap a chick on the shoulder, she won't even acknowledge that I touched her, like she didn't feel it. I'm like, these women are so disrespectful in their way. You know what I mean? And then I seen guys, some of my lighter skinned guys used to get women like it was nothing. So when I went to Houston, it was like the reverse. Like I was just pulling badder chicks than I was even shooting at in Chicago. So I was like, it's the location. You know what I mean? It's the location. Like Houston was sweet for me. Chicago wasn't. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what we have to figure out when it comes to these places. Like some places are going to be sweet for you, some is not. One thing, me and Flip Flop was supposed to do a stream about this, but he was a little reluctant. He's reluctant to kind of talk about it. We were going to talk about we can put a personality type on what type of dudes like Brazil, what type of dudes like Colombia, DR, etc. You know what I mean? I do think that there is a certain personality type that meshes with certain countries. You know what I mean? I don't want to break that down yet, but I do think that some guys might fit the profile. Okay, Brazil might be sweet for him, or Colombia, or whatever. I do think that. I have a question, Ronin, because you said you're the prize. So I want to ask you why are you the prize? Why are you the prize?
The level of experience I bring to a relationship, the type of money that I can bring, the stability, the resources. You need me to keep going on? You know, the knowledge and impact that I can bring to her family, because with my resources and my information, it also benefits the back end of her family, depending on what type of family she comes from. You get what I'm saying? I bring the whole sausage, regardless of what stage in life she is. I mean, pause. But whatever stage of life she's in, I can help her progress through that.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So you're saying that you got life experience, one thing at a time. So you said you got life experiences, right?
Yep.
So that sound like a chick saying, I got all these degrees in education. I bring that to the table.
Okay.
We dismiss that. So
you can.
I'm a PhD.
Yeah. So what makes you think your life experience can be dismissed too? Like that's.
Look, if she matches up to my standards, whether she has a PhD or not, she's still going to get in line with the other values I bring. Just because she has a level of intelligence, my background is architecture. I don't give a fuck what you know. I know just as much as you. So what you got a piece of paper that said that you could apply yourself for 4 years because you didn't have life distractions and you got a fucking degree. What's that got to do with me being a man and running the fucking household? So why are you guys letting degrees and women distract you from your purpose as a man in a house?
But what does the prize mean? What does it mean to be a prize? Like just fundamentally.
You are the ultimate resource and the benefit of the overall union. She doesn't bring that. I do.
Okay, so you're the prize when it comes to you. If it's just you and her comparing each other to you, comparing yourself to her, you're the prize. But from a worldly, I guess.
Even with that, I should still bring more experience than that on her with that as well.
All right, so it's 5 of us on this panel, right?
Go ahead.
You can convince a woman that out of all the 5 of us, she should pick you over all of us. Can you compel a woman? Could you compel a woman to say, you know what, Ronin.
I could compel a woman to say I'm a good choice. Now it's up to the woman to decide what she's actually looking for between the 5 of us sitting on this panel. I can never sway that. I can sway that I'm a good choice. I can let her hear the experience versus my experiences and you guys' experience on this panel. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be the woman's choice of what she desires at that moment on whether she's going to go with me or go with the other 4 of you.
You got to stand on that. Because if it was me, I'm going to say out of all these brothers on this panel, I'm the prize.
Okay. You can think that.
I don't know people personally, but I can be like, I don't care what these brothers doing. I'm the prize because of A, B, C, D.
And then when you get yourself set up to get hurt because she's sitting there saying, you might think you're the prize, but I actually prefer this other guy, regardless of your stats. Women are not logical. So there's no sense of standing on logic when it comes to a woman's preference and their desires. It's just not going to work out.
So you really proved the point I was trying to make. What's the point of saying you're the prize if it's obsolete?
Like I said, she has to get on my program and understand that she needs to worry about if some other woman's trying to talk to me versus me worrying about whether she's talking to another man. And if I can't get with that, then I can't get with that. But I'm not going to lose my mind over it. Go ahead.
Let me ask, this is a question for all you guys, Pan-African first. If a very attractive chick passes on you, is it her loss? Is it her loss, or it just is what it is?
It's her loss.
It is what it is. I don't give a damn.
I mean, what's really the difference between those two options?
Well, if it's her loss, because if you're saying it's her loss, then you're really saying you're the prize, right? But if she got other options, then it's not really her loss.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I say it's her loss at the end of the day because I'm always think I'm the number one option when she's choosing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, if you look at like overseas, one of the benefits to us as men is we're already out competing 99% of the dudes in those countries. So we already are kind of like pre-selected when it
Yeah.
comes to finances and having that blue passport.
Right.
I would say it is what it is at the end of the day. Because if she leaves, there's like 4 billion other women in the world. So
Thank you, Buck.
a lot of guys have this mentality where they're stuck to just one woman forever. I mean, like, bro, you gotta have abundance mentality, man.
Thank you.
That's why you see guys in Thailand deleting themselves, especially a lot of European, Australian dudes, because their Thai chick move on to some other dude.
Exactly. See, this is how I'm looking at it, right? So if we want to use the economic argument, right? We come from America. We come from the wealthiest country in the world, and we're going to other countries that isn't on our level. Our salary, even if you're making $50,000 a year, if you extrapolate that over the world, you're probably in the top 1%, right? Compared to all the men in the world, right? If you're making $50,000 a year, you're probably in the top 1% worldwide. So yes, you can make that argument if you go elsewhere, you are the prize. But when it comes to social media, that woman in Burundi, in Haiti, in Cambodia, if she looks good, her DMs, she still can get DMs from athletes, celebrities, entertainers, just like a woman in the U.S. can. She could get the same DMs from men in Saudi Arabia with millions of billions of dollars. And so, because social media is a country now. Let's TikTok,
I mean, it's possible.
Instagram is a country now.
I think it's possible, but I don't think it's probable. And I'm gonna say this. I say so one of my girlfriends is an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
She got like 100,000 IG subscribers and stuff like that. She don't really get you know celebrities and stuff trying to hit her DM. Not well. Let's say maybe she'll get some dudes from her country,
Mm-hmm.
right? There may be celebrities or artists or something like that. But as far as like American dudes or dudes from like sheiks from Qatar or something like that hitting her up, she don't really get that, like talking about it. And I don't think most women, I don't even think most like rich dudes from the US are really checking for chicks. And it's so many, another thing too is
Yeah,
there's so many beautiful women. It's
yeah.
so many of
Thank
them.
you.
It's like
Too
it's like
many.
a
Thank you.
one.
Too many,
It's
man.
like it's like a million beautiful women for every you know top 1% dude. You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
most
the ratio is
1%
crazy.
guys are not online looking for chicks. They
Right,
got enough right in their face. Dude, come on, think about it. You got enough chicks in your face already, let alone having to go look across the planet for one. So if you got that many chicks coming at you 24/7 and you're fighting them off just to figure out which ones are fucking legitimate in your own country, why are you online looking for any fucking thing else?
but we live in a
That's a
world
good
of
point.
delusion. We live in a world of delusion, though. Kevin Samuels tried to point this out too.
Most men of wealth are not
Hold
delusional.
on. No,
Period.
I'm not talking about man. Most of these women are delusional. Kevin Samuels' arguments was always about statistics.
Mhm.
Statistically, there's more. There's a few percentage of men that make this amount of money. He used statistics about height. A woman want a tall man. Statistically,
Right.
there's this amount. But we have to understand we're dealing with women that's not logical. They're not looking at
Mhm.
statistics. So yes, on paper, yes, we are the prize. It is their loss on paper. But the way they think, they don't know that. They think that they have all
They
these
can find
out.
out the hard way.
You know what I
They
mean?
can basically fuck around and find out.
But that's why I
Yeah.
said it's a moot point
Mm-mm.
because they don't conceptualize that and they don't even recognize that you're the prize.
I don't think you could even have a good relationship with a woman if she doesn't believe that you're the prize as a man. In my personal opinion,
Because she doesn't
it,
respect
it,
you right off
it,
the
it,
top.
if she doesn't view the man as a prize, I think it's really just going to be a transactional relationship where it's like, cause it's like, think about it. She thinks she the prize, so okay, I'm the prize. You need to buy me this. You need to buy me that. It's gonna be based on, okay, you having to buy as much as possible. That
And the minute you go
for
them down
for
that
the woman.
road, it's over from the jump. You've
Yeah,
showed your
because it's
weakness.
never gonna end. It's not. It's just gonna,
It's
okay.
gonna keep on compounding.
Now
So
we
don't
went on
even
a
do it.
trip here. Now I want to go to Dubai. Okay, we went to Dubai. Now I want to go to the moon. That's how that. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna keep building up because she doesn't value you in her eyes. She doesn't value you, so she's valuing the material things that you get for her. Not to say that if she view you as a prize, she doesn't want you to get her things and stuff like that. But if she doesn't view you as a prize, it's just going to become like uncontrollable, and that's going to be the only reason for her being in that relationship. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Bruce Lee just said it. She's a prize I can easily replace.
Right.
Period.
But the other challenge too is that a lot of these countries don't. I'll put it like this: not every country has a lot of beautiful women. You know what I mean? So where there's a shortage or a minority, I use Uganda for example, right? A lot of people say Uganda chicks not that attractive, but they have a small percentage of women that are highly attractive. Those chicks are hard. They are hard to get because they're in a minority. You go to Colombia, there's lots of beautiful women that go around, so that dynamic is a little different. But let's not make it seem like all these countries that there's a plethora of 8s, 9s, and 10s, because some of these countries are lacking. Some of these countries are lacking. That's why guys are getting disappointed about the countries that have lots of beautiful women because they know if we could talk about Africa, there's only a handful of countries. There's only a handful of countries that have women on par with like Brazilians and Colombians. You know what I mean?
I don't know if there's any countries that's on that level.
Now the Rwandan,
And the reason I say that is because it's not even based on a natural beauty. It's the fact that Brazil and
Nah,
Colombia, the women take
Brazil and
their
Colombia are number one, bro.
they take
Brazil and
they
Colombia is
take
number one.
their beauty
Venezuela's number one.
standard
Venezuela.
so
Brazil,
seriously. Like
you
in
said
terms of
Venezuela.
makeup and hygiene and
Wow.
stuff like that,
no excuse.
it's
I
really
don't. I don't
another
even.
level.
I don't even think those North African countries can even compete with Brazil and Colombia, Morocco, and all that. We counted all of Africa.
Venezuela's number one.
Let's just say all of Africa: North Algeria, South Africa, Ghana, Ethiopia, Kenya. We just said all. I take Colombia and Brazil, man, any day.
I'll say this. I would say that Africa compete once once the women out there get their routines and stuff together, like they get
Damn,
better
Bert.
wigs and they get
Bert's pulling for
they
Thailand.
makeup on point. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some gorgeous women out there, but like I say, the beauty thing is just not on point right now. They catching up on that point.
Isn't that the great thing
And
about everybody here? We all have our preferences of what we like and don't like.
and
So while
even
somebody
within
might
South,
think Brazil or Venezuela or even Thailand or whatever country that they wind up settling in, that's where their beauties are, then that's on them. We don't all have to crowd into the same fucking box.
even with South America, like my last place I got back from Panama, I'm always reverting back to Colombia. Like I'm like, so far I haven't been to a place that even competes with Colombia.
I will say,
Like it's just so hard right now because like every place, like then the trip after
I'm
before
with Drew.
Panama, the trip before Panama was Japan, and I was like, man, a lot of these women look like teenage girls, man. They just so small, 5'5", 110 pounds. I'm like, yeah, this is not.
I'm with Drew. The best women you can possibly find are United States. If their software wasn't so fucked up, you wouldn't be going anywhere else.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Nah,
Like,
United States, United
US
States,
to compete with.
you got
Hold on,
millions
We
of
competing.
simps.
hold on, but what you
No, we're just
say?
talking about the women. Like, no, like USA is definitely competing with the best of the best. I'm not gonna even lie. That's a fact.
physically,
We got some beautiful
physical
women in our
attraction
country.
wise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Physically, I said software is fucked up. Physically wise, they stack up with everybody else, if not better, because they're all here.
Yeah.
They all come here. We don't have to go there to do it. They're right here. If their software wasn't so fucked up, you wouldn't go anywhere. You just find the chick here.
Yeah,
So
I would definitely agree with Backpack Valor on that one. I think USA has the finest chicks in the world. It's just that, as Roland said, the software. But they're taken by the, I hate to say, it, but it's like it will come down to, at the end of the day,
I see this.
guys with resources.
And,
Guys with
and
resources. That
and
baddie. Let me tell you something like this.
if you having issues overseas, it ain't because of height, man. I'm 5'7",
Thank
and
you.
I'm like that's enough. Like I'm like this what these celebrity Negroes be going through and shit. I'm like it's too much action overseas, and I'm 5'7", so it
Right,
really
but you could admit that you've been rejected because of your height before, right?
Yeah.
not overseas in the States.
So you 10 for 10. You 10 for well, you 100%. You 100% with women that you approach overseas.
Overseas,
Yeah,
yes.
100%. Oh, okay. You know niggas gonna be like that's cap, but
I
100%.
know they're
but
gonna be like this cap. I
the
already
whole
know.
thing is yeah,
I know.
it's his word
Well,
against theirs. I mean,
well,
what the
well, put it
fuck?
like this. I really don't do. How can I put it? I use pre-selection to my advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the type of stuff I do, like they're already interested. Like I don't really do as much cold approaching too much, but even cold approaching, I haven't had an issue with. You know what I'm saying? I use pre-selection to my advantage, where it's like, okay, the chick, there's really no way to lose at the end of the day.
Okay, so you
But
very
it's so.
very very strategic then. Go ahead.
But this is the thing, though. It's okay to lose. Like, I don't want guys out here thinking that, you know what I mean. Like, damn, like she doesn't want to get with me. Blah blah blah. Like, it's something I'm doing wrong. Like, no, just keep shooting. Just keep trying. Like, no, but I've seen a lot of ugly dudes with like dimes. I'm not even gonna lie to
Yeah,
you. In the States as well, they're not
yeah.
the richest people either. Like, I think it's more so dudes are just quitting too early. You know what I mean? Being too lazy, just being too pessimistic, and it's not trying hard enough. Like, honestly,
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I
honestly,
definitely
like
agree. I
no
seen.
one's gonna. Hmm? No, my
Yeah,
fault.
I
Like, no
seen.
one's gonna bat a perfect like, you know what I'm saying, like a 1.0. No one's gonna do that. And as a matter of fact, people are gonna get rejected more so than not. You just gotta just keep going. I think it just gets to people when they get rejected. This is why we are at the point that we're at right now talking about it.
Let me read the
And it's
super
just
chat real quick. Backpack.
mhm,
Shout out to QB
yeah.
for $2 super chat. He said receipts to back your claim up. And I'm laughing at this because he said he's 100% in the red light district.
That's funny. Not no excuse. No
Hold on,
excuse.
hold on. Let me let backpack. Let me let backpack finish because I cut him off,
Now I
and then
landed the plane. I landed. I landed.
No, I just
okay.
wanted to ask you real quick. Do you remember me from GMT's WhatsApp group?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I put plenty of receipts in that group a couple years ago, but I really don't post stuff publicly like that anymore. Because
No,
dudes be
we
going
know
back to chicks and telling stuff.
you official brother. You official brother. You know we niggas still gonna say cap though. You
Yeah, they
official.
gonna talk that shit. I ain't mad at it though. I'm a lad. That was a good one though. 100% in the red light district. I like.
Let me get astronomics in and Ronan moderate the chat. I gotta step away for a moment.
All right.
Hey, what's up? What's up? I just got one. Um, it's not even a question. I just wanted to hear y'all opinion on it. So, all right. So I was talking to an Ethiopian, right? And I'm an American, obviously. I'm from Maryland. So pretty much, I mess with the Caribbean. So the reason why I clicked on here because of the title. It says "Go where you're loved" or something like that. So I messed with the Caribbean. So what I did was, I just flew her to the Caribbean. So pretty much, it's different marriage laws and shit. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. But pretty much, if you fly them to another country instead of in America, like instead of USA, but fly them to the Americas, then they can't really do that little game on you. You get what I'm saying? That little USA game where they kind of like run game on you. You get
I
what I'm
mean,
saying? So if you choose a location that you mess with and you fly them out to where you at instead of America, then that's like a cheat code right there.
somewhat.
Yeah, because you still getting like you still in Americas, you just not in the USA, and you got it don't even have to be Ethiopian. That's just my case. You get what I'm saying? But yeah,
But even
which
with that theory, you have to think about, is she playing the long game? You're flying her out, so you're already you're footing the bill, which is not a bad thing. I take sand to the
oh
beach all
yeah,
the
and they
time.
and my
You know,
clause my
how
thing is
long have you dated that woman before you decide to fly her out? How long have you
uh,
talked to this woman before you decided to start spending money on her? Because whatever level you start at, you're gonna need to maintain and increase.
so I had my own like standards. I don't want to get too deep, but she was like a prayer woman or whatever. I don't want to get too deep into that. That was one standard if I'm spending money on them, and then she had to been like already had a career. She didn't have a career, but she was a she graduated to become a doctor. But in her country, the government did something where they can't become doctors right now. You get what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
but
My thing. Oh,
I told her she not coming to America, at least not until I have like 2, 3 kids. And just naturally, I wasn't trying to hold that over her head. I just pretty much I had a whole game plan, like literally, like
Oh wow.
to where as though all that American
Uh-huh.
swindle is not that's
well,
not gonna happen.
All right, Astro, hold on.
well,
Land your plane so Backpack and some other people can input on what your initial statement was. Go ahead, Backpack, since you're already ready.
yeah, I wanted to ask, like, so you're bringing an Ethiopian to Latin America. I think one thing that could work
No,
towards
not
your
Latin America.
disadvantage, not
Not
Latin
Latin
America.
America.
Oh, okay,
The
okay,
Caribbean.
so
He said
the
the
Caribbean.
Caribbean.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that country would obviously speak English, right?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Okay, okay,
And they would
okay,
have a
because I was
better medical infrastructure
like an
than
infrastructure
Ethiopia.
for. Okay,
So then she'll be able to be a doctor there. You know, that's how it's gonna look.
okay, okay. Understood, understood. Because I was thinking that it was somewhere in Latin America. So I was going to ask if any of you speak the language, because if you didn't, it would work as a disadvantage. You know what I mean? Being a couple, being in a country that, speaks another
Yeah.
language or whatnot, but that's not your situation. So,
But Backpack, wouldn't that also lend to them pulling together as a team because they're both at a disadvantage in a foreign country? Because I've seen women rewrite their own program, American women, when they've gone overseas with their men, and because their support system was them and their man, they act different. So, do you think that could be the same thing with this girl in his situation?
I suppose, like what you said could play out. You know what I mean? But I always just like Um, I always suggest people to like play careful when they make decisions such as that. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm speaking against it or anything like that, but just to make it easier for yourself if you were to relocate to a country where you don't speak the native tongue, like at least have somebody with you that does at some point. Like somebody's gonna have to, you know what I mean? So if it's not you, make sure it's your partner, just so it's easy for you to navigate through the country. I get the challenge and overcoming that challenge, but like also like there's a convenience factor, you know what I'm saying, to it all too. Like I understand that you may not be able to communicate with your like significant other. Like that does also play a problem, right? When
Sure.
you don't when you don't know the national language, but like there's still
Mhm.
ways around it though. There's still ways around it. But like I still feel like you'll get a better understanding if you were with somebody that could speak the language or knew the layout of the land.
All right. All right. Hey,
Astronomical.
Nick Travels, you're new to the panel. Why don't you go ahead and input on Astral's situation if you got input on that?
No, no input right now. Yeah, but I've been to Colombia, Argentina, Paraguay. I work remotely, so I stay in months, 2 months at a time.
I hear your accent. Where are you from originally?
Jamaica.
Okay. Pan African. You got any input? Um,
Astronomics, the Caribbean country that you're planning on moving to, are you a citizen of that country?
No, no, no. So I pretty much I was in between a few of them actually, but pretty much like work permits, and businesses. So you get residency off of things like that as well.
So, do you have residency, or are you looking to obtain residency?
No, no, I have residency now.
Okay, okay. I don't know. That's a complex situation because neither of you are citizens of the actual country. What I
mhm.
would do, I mean, if you haven't already, is I would check with a local lawyer in that country to see what type of possible risk you could probably expose yourself to. If you do move her down there, if y'all decide to have kids, like what country would the kids be citizens of, and all of that type of stuff. But that's the main thing. If you're moving her, you want to see what type of possible risk that it may pose to you, because
Yeah, we already went
um
over that.
I
It
know
was
if you
more so
plan on bringing them,
like
let's say if you planned on bringing them to the
Go ahead. What was your what? Hold on, Pan.
go
What
ahead.
was the response for you guys working that out? What was the discussion? How did that
so
go?
pretty much it works like this. So you can't get a dual citizenship in Ethiopia. So what happens is they get an American citizenship, but a residency in Ethiopia.
What about the country you guys are moving to
So
that
you plan.
Oh,
or
they get
not?
that citizenship there automatically also. But I don't want to talk like that on this live, but that does happen.
Okay. Go ahead, Pan,
So you
because I know you have follow
you,
up
you
questions.
plan on you plan on helping her get a U.S. Citizenship.
Maybe after like 3 kids, and they gotta actually be conscious. Cause if she run out or do something weird, they gotta actually know that their mother did that. Not it wasn't no weird stuff. But I'm genuine with her. Like I took my time with everything. So
Okay.
Okay, last
Oh,
question. For the kids, where do you plan on having her have the kids in her country?
um, well for the most part, like where we set up, where we are situated at. So in the first one, obviously in the Caribbean, you know. But no, mostly all of them gonna be outside of Ethiopia. To be honest with you.
Nick,
So
Nick, you got some pushback on that?
yeah, so what you can do, you can look into, it's called birth tourism. So basically people just go to certain countries to give birth, and what that does is it allows the your kid to have like multiple citizenships, and then
Hmm.
you automatically get residency. So for instance,
It's not as
Argentina.
automatic, but I get what you're saying. And I was doing that in all the countries I love. So I mean, it was only like two countries that I love anyway. But yeah, and I wasn't just doing it just because of that. I was setting up like infrastructures in these places too. It wasn't like just off of the screen for that. Even the Ethiopian was arranged, far as me connecting with her.
So this is gonna be your first kid, or you got other kids?
No, this was my first kid.
Oh, she's not pregnant right now, though, right?
No, no, she's not pregnant right now. Nope.
Okay. Oh, okay. How old are you?
Yeah, I think that's a
I'm dirty.
You're 30. How old
Yeah,
is she?
this is solid plan. Like I
How old is
know
she?
This
How old
nigga
is
got
she?
a
she's
plan,
20,
son.
she's 26.
Okay.
But I mean, the Ethiopian passport is not really strong, though. Is what I'm
That's why
saying.
I said, but the kid's not gonna be born there.
Right.
Oh,
He got
But
the plan.
so it's
yeah,
pretty
man. This
much
is a
a
I
good
just gonna
plan.
say this is a complicated situation because
It can
I
be.
know Ethiopia doesn't give dual citizenship, so it's like
But they give permanent
you got to think
residency,
about
so
how can they get back. If she want the kids to visit her family in the country and all this type of stuff.
there's certain benefits.
But I,
So you got
you know,
permanent residency. So that's still good. You just can't like do stuff like vote and stuff, but you can do a lot of other things. Um, but it's all about having rights. You know,
So
the
is she willing to give up her Ethiopian citizenship to move to wherever
oh
and,
no
and
no
become a
she's
citizen there?
no, she would just get residencies because she's like traditional, so she's
Okay.
not going to do
But
that.
the child or the children that are being born would have to, you would have to make a choice whether you're getting them a US passport or Ethiopian one.
Yeah, and whatever one they choose, or whichever one we choose, that will be a permanent resident of the other one.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty
Hey,
Well,
Buck,
simple.
let
you've
me
been
read
real.
the super chat real
Hold on.
quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Shout out to Ellis, man, for the $5 super chat. He said, "I feel like dating in America. You have home field advantage. You have your house, car. You can plan everything and leave properly. Yeah, that's true. That's key.
Hmm.
Appreciate it, bro. All right, go ahead."
So,
Agreed.
Buck, you haven't chimed in yet. You got any comments on
Someone said
Astro's
that.
situation?
I really don't have any comment on it, but I do have I just want to piggyback on the main topic. Um, like I was saying earlier, I feel like we gotta call out guys. We gotta see why guys are not having success overseas because I personally know guys who went to Europe and they cleaned up. They cleaned up easily. Then you got this Austin Holloman character. He
Oh,
goes to Europe and he's complaining, saying, "Oh, they're not checking for us in Spain. They're not checking it for us in Turkey and all that." I'm like, okay, we gotta right now. Okay, Austin, we gotta stop calling out. You just see the metrics. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? How tall are you? There's a lot of factors that can play into it. And another thing is like somebody got to be there with him and assess him because maybe he's getting rejected because I feel like some of these chicks are feeling like this dude is a square, not taking the shots at him, but that's the way it is, man. It's like, bro, man,
Well,
you're like 25 years old in the prime of your life, and you going overseas and hooking up, with pros when you can just stay here in the matrix because most 25 years old are winning here in the matrix. They're getting chicks. I mean, you don't. I mean,
well,
he's playing the old man. What
well,
old guys are doing, like going overseas and all that. I'm like,
hey, don't throw
well,
me
yeah,
in that, Buck. I'm not going
I'm
to.
not
Don't throw
rolling,
me up
rolling,
in that.
rolling.
well.
You're not that rolling. The way you're doing it is the I would say is the like that should be a standard for guys. Like you're going to Philippines, you getting whatever married or whatever to a chick and all that. But the
Well,
way
let's
Austin Holloman is moving, he's just moving recklessly, man.
let's stop complaining about Austin. You know what I mean? We see what's up. We see what's going on. You know
African
what I
had to
mean?
leave. He said, "Great chat." He had to bounce. Peace out.
Okay, appreciate it, bro, for coming up, man. But yeah, we need let's kind of close. I want everybody to kind of close on what countries. Give like one or two that you feel like, even if you're not a content creator, what countries, if you have to pick two countries, what countries would you really promote in a positive way instead of negative? And before y'all answer, I want to say this. I think Austin should, whatever country that is, he should start promoting that country that checks the most boxes for him. If it happens to
Mhm.
be Kenya, I want to hear about why he loves Kenya, why it checks all the boxes. I don't want to hear about, well, you want to give information about countries, the pros and cons, but leave it at that, and hype up the countries that is sweet for you. That's what I want to hear.
Right.
But let's start with let me start with Buck, man. One or two countries, man, that you would promote, and why?
So far out of the 10 countries, and I'm saying so far because these are the
One
only
or two,
countries I've
bro.
been.
One or two
No, no.
countries.
Based on where I've been, and I only been to 10 countries. So at this moment, it might change in the future. I'm saying Colombia. The reason why I say Colombia is the best value, They have a very good infrastructure. The women are pretty. Like you could find relationship out there. Like the
You said
longer
where?
you, Colombia. I would say
Okay,
Colombia
come
is
on.
number one. I have Colombia as number
Okay,
one.
okay,
So yeah. So I
okay.
would say Colombia. The reason is best value, like overall.
All right, so you'll push Colombia, and is it another country or just Colombia?
I have another country, but I don't want to put it out there, man. I don't want.
He tried to keep it low key to himself.
Yeah.
We're gatekeeping now.
I think Drew knows. I think Drew in the chat knows, but
All right, all right, cool, but appreciate you coming up, man. You can drop yourself down. Let me get
salute.
astronomics, man. You know, one or two countries, man, you would
I
promote.
gotta give you
And
3
what?
though, because the Caribbean is like one place really.
Hmm.
All right, all right, all right.
All right, so my first one will be Barbados, because the infrastructure. It's
Okay.
just like if you wanted to set up shop there with whatever you got going on, you can just do that, and it's easy
Hmm.
and it's welcoming. But with women there, see, with women, I ain't gonna lie, I'm used to just setting up my whatever I got going on, and then I'll even like fly a woman from whatever country to where I'm at, you know.
Okay.
So I don't really choose from that country anyway. But the women there is tough though. They tough. Then I would say for y'all need to check out Martinique. You know, if y'all want, if because the women there is like, it's like they're just like the Trinidadian women. You know,
Okay. Okay.
and then if you want something serious, like, and you want to just focus on business or your path, then I would say Ethiopia.
I'm
So,
team Ethiopia with you, man. So
you know. But
appreciate that insight, man.
where I'm at right now is
Uh-huh.
Dominica. That's where my base at. So it's just a place where, like, I don't even know where nobody even go there. It's just my hub. Like, you know how Rihanna got her. Everybody know Barbados for Rihanna
Yeah.
place. Like, I'm creating a place like that in fucking Dominica. That's my plan in the next
Hmm.
10 years.
I'm
Okay.
gonna have to do a stream like as we sleeping on the West Indies, man.
Yeah, y'all
But
definitely is,
You
bro.
definitely are.
Y'all definitely is. Cause
You
I ain't gonna
definitely
lie.
are.
The living
I can tell you that.
expenses, the living expenses is like, bruh, it's like for $300-400 you can get something nice, and then you ain't really living third world. It's like second world, and then
Hmm.
bruh, it's just it's like y'all skipped right over it, like literally, and went
Say
straight to
them.
Africa,
I didn't.
straight to Europe,
Yeah.
straight to fucking China. Everybody want to come here, so it's easy for you to like
As a
get
child,
them
I
here,
started
set
off
up a
in
base.
Caribbean and never stopped going back. I always go back to the Caribbean.
It feel like
Yeah.
it comes off like the Matrix. I'll put it like this. I assume it's like the Matrix. That's
No,
why.
it's definitely not. It's definitely
Mm-mm.
not. They barely got addresses. In Dominica, there's no addresses. You
For
know?
real.
Yeah. So it's literally like, bro, it's literally like just like Africa, but with better infrastructure. You know?
Mm.
All right, conversation for another day, man. Appreciate you coming up, man.
Pablo says, "Stop inviting these ninjas to your happy place."
No, this is a real good place, man. It's for like a barbershop, but with guys that's like making moves, you know?
Right,
No,
right.
no channel got this vibe right here, like
Well,
in this whole movement. It felt like I was at a therapy session or some shit. But it's
hmm.
cause listen, we all like in different parts of the world where nobody we know at. So if this should be like a standard vibe for real, you know? But that's
Mm.
all.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Interesting. All right, bro. Nick Travels.
What's going on? What's going on? So I'm gonna say Mexico and
Wow.
Morocco.
Oh wow.
Morocco, if you're Muslim or
Okay.
you're serious, you're really serious about marriage and actually trying to find a wife. Morocco is dirt cheap. It's basically the same as far as the currency. It's basically as cheap as Colombia. Colombia. There's a lot to do. There's different cities. You can hop on a train and go to another city in like 2 hours. Very easy, super safe. The food is good. You know what I mean? Egypt is right there. Algeria is right there. Spain is right next door. So if you're serious about marriage or if you're Muslim, I would say Morocco. And then Mexico. Mexico is really close to the States. If you have any emergencies or if you shop online like me, the food is amazing. Mexico is like the top three best food in the world. Mexico is kind of like, it's set up like Colombia and Brazil, where it's like the country's so big. If you get bored in one city, you can just fly to another city, and it's a whole different vibe. You know what I mean? You got the beach, you
That's
got the
true.
city. You want to go hiking, all in one. You can do everything. So the pesos is kind of strong right now, but that's not too big of an issue. But yeah, I would say um, Mexico and Morocco.
Mexico and Morocco, man. Okay, sounds up QB's alley. But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
You could drop yourself down. Backpack Val, man. One or two countries, man. You would promote, man, and why? So, all right. So, if it's talking about, all right, living there long term and eventually finding a woman, right? That's what we're emphasizing.
Mhm.
I would suggest Costa Rica, most definitely.
Mm.
Reason being because number one, it's rated as the best place for an expat to retire at, rated by many. And two, that you'll find a lot of gorgeous women as well, like Colombian like, Venezuelan like. You know why? Because they be going there too. You know what I mean? Like that's where they go for, a better opportunity and whatnot.
Mm.
Also, you could use the dollar bill. A lot of people who work, well, everyone who works in the sector of hospitality. Is there some in the background?
Go
Y'all
ahead.
hear that?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
okay.
no excuse. Something came through on him. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say a lot of people that work in the field of hospitality, they do speak English, eloquent English at that. So it's just easier to, for you to like walk out your house and ask for something of assistance if you need. Um, yeah, the infrastructure is up to par. The women is beautiful and they're very patient as well. Not really a headache or a hassle from my experience with them. So I would definitely look at Costa Rica for those who are interested in Latinas, but just want a more easygoing vibe, slower pace. Costa Rica is that, and I would say Thailand as well. Yeah, I mean it's while the distance. I do call it, and I don't want to sound derogatory, but like a loser's paradise. Like I've seen a lot of guys win. A
Oh,
lot of guys win, yeah. And I'm talking about scoring on some like gorgeous Thai woman. Like I wasn't even going to Thailand all that type of time thinking that the women were fire, but I've seen plenty. And I've seen guys score. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
from like all facets of life. So I'm like, hey, like it shouldn't be hard for any dude who's complaining about getting women overseas to go to Thailand and find something that they like. There's a lot of women out there. It's also very safe and very affordable on all fronts. Like as far as like finding an apartment, food, groceries, going out the club, everything is cheap. So yeah, Thailand is definitely number two for me. So Costa Rica and Thailand are mine.
Okay, man. Everybody
Yeah.
got it's
Mhm.
diversity on this panel, man.
Mhm.
Everybody got
Well,
different
yeah, wait
countries,
until you
man.
hear what I
I
said.
did want to say, my fault. Like me personally, I'm a Colombia guy. You know what I mean? I love Colombia. That's like my playground. But like, I have to be upfront and honest. It's not the safest place in the world. So you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would just be irresponsible of me to like just suggest that Colombia would be that primary place I would suggest somebody to go to. You know what I mean? I would just say go there and have your fun. But do your own diligent due diligence when making long term plans for a country like that. And I'll land the plane right there.
I appreciate you, bro, coming up, man. Any mods, man, drop a Backpack Val channel in the chat,
Yo,
man.
thank you for having me. Salute to No Excuses. Salute on the travels. I'll catch you on the
Salute to
next
you,
live
brother.
stream. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Now I'm gonna throw y'all off in a second.
Oh man.
You ready? You already
Yeah,
know the
yeah.
first obvious one. Everybody knows the first obvious one if they follow me. The
Philippines,
obvious
right?
one would be the Philippines, right?
All right.
The one that's not so obvious would be Australia.
Okay.
And I'm not
Okay.
talking the Sydney side. I'm talking the Perth side.
Okay.
So Australia has everything I would be looking for. Matter of fact, I've said this years ago. If there was a place that I would go to if I left the United States, Australia was always the first one on my list.
Okay.
I wouldn't be giving up much moving to Australia, but I would be gaining a lot when it comes to the people and how they move. I've always gotten the feel that they're maybe 40 years behind us when it comes to the way they move and how they operate. And the women just love us, period. American men, period. It doesn't even have to be black men. Any American man, they really appreciate our morals, our values, and even above their own men. So you're actually favored in Australia as an American man, even over their own men.
Okay.
Check that. So I have not gone to New Zealand yet, but once I move to Philippines, New Zealand is on my list, and that might replace Australia. But Australia would be my second choice above the or below the Philippines.
Wow, that was a surprise. Australia.
Mm-hmm. Y'all need to check it out. Trying to tell you.
Okay, okay. Well, you a YouTuber now, so
Oh,
you,
they're gonna see it. Believe that. They'll see it once I get over there and get established. That's gonna be my home port. So I'll be able to fly to all these countries a lot more conveniently from there than the United States.
all right, sounds good, man.
All right, I'm gonna back down.
If you can't post put Backpack Val channel in the chat.
I'm not a mod, bro.
You're not a mod.
Not in this room. I'm a mod and no excuse.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. But I think you got Bert and some other people in here.
But you connected though, right? You still connected on your screen, right?
Yeah, I can drop it in. I'll drop it in the panel. Yeah. But go ahead.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna
All
turn
right.
my
No,
camera on.
that's it.
Drop me down. Drop me down so I can do that real quick.
All right, let me drop you down. All right. Well, this is the countries that I will promote. I'm gonna have to do it by continent because I think every continent has something to offer. Um, there are guys, there are countries where I would say, pay for play is popping, but I'm not gonna put that out there. So I just talk about more of like casual dating, relationships, and or marriage. Now in Latin America, man, Colombia, I ain't gonna lie, man, Colombia is still king. I went back and forth between Colombia and South Africa, and I put South Africa above Colombia, but Colombia just ended up coming on top. I mean, Colombia arguably has the highest percentage of beautiful women in the country. You know what I mean? I would say at least 7 out of 10 women are attractive in Colombia. So by being so many attractive women, by default, you're gonna end up with attractive women. And Colombia is the only country where I've seen where the highly attractive women are still humble to the most part. A lot of guys, even with the pros, a lot of guys got phone numbers to a lot of these very attractive Colombianas. You know what I mean? Were they calling them their friend? I mean, a lot of guys have access to beautiful women in Colombia, whereas other countries, it's hard to find or it's hard to get access, and it's hard to maintain them friendships or relationships that you may develop. So Colombia just has the women. And then the other reason I like Colombia too is because there's so many cities that you can have a good time in Colombia. We go a lot of these other countries, you may go to the main city or maybe another city, and all the other cities it kind of falls off. But we got shout out to the guys that's in Cali, Colombia right now, like Flyboy Way, Kings of Dreams, Andre live out there. you know, I mean, guys in Cali, Colombia for the Black Festival, the Patrino Festival. That's Cali. You know, I mean, you got Bogota, Medellin, Cartagena, and then I took it upon myself to visit Afro-Colombian cities like Quibdó and Choco. There's another city called Tumaco that I'm going to be going back to, and then San Andreas is is a lot of black people on San Andreas if you like black or Afro Latina. So Colombia just has so much to offer: the food, the weather. You got consistent weather in Medellin. If you like the mild climate, you got consistent weather in Cartagena. If you like hot climate, Colombia is the only country where there's no fluctuation in weather. It's a constant 70s, 80s, or whatever city that is. It's always constant. So you don't have to worry about change in weather. Now that's Latin America. Now, when it comes to Africa, I would say Ethiopia definitely if you want a wife, you know what I mean? And I'll talk more about Ethiopia on my other channel, the No Excuse channel. But Ethiopia, just because it's more about the mentality of the women. It was a country that wasn't colonized, and it has one of the most preserved histories as it pertains to religion. If you have religion values, whether you're Muslim or Christian, Ethiopia is the most untainted country in Africa, even though westernization has penetrated Ethiopia. But if you wanna find a wife, or I would say best suited to find a wife, I would say Ethiopia. I still say Colombia too, only because um, Colombianas, from what I've noticed, is they're not really social media driven like other countries. You know, there's a lot of beautiful Colombianas that are on Instagram that got 100, 200, 300 followers. You know, so the influence is there, but it's not as prevalent. So I do still believe that Colombia is a great place to find a wife. But we have to do better jobs at vetting women worldwide. That's another stream I'm going to do is talk about vetting, because a lot of us men, including myself, I've been in tens of 20s of relationships, and if I'm not picking the right one, I can't always point the finger at the women. I have to look at me and say, hey, am I good at vetting? But that's a whole nother conversation. So we got Colombia, Ethiopia, and Africa, Tanzania too in Africa, and the jury is still out on other countries. But I wanted to mention earlier, Rwanda has a specific group of women that are highly attractive that can compete with the Brazils and Colombias of the world. So there are women in Africa or countries that have the women that can definitely compete. Rwanda is definitely one of them. South Africa too, to a certain extent too. South Africa can compete too. You know, and then lastly, I would just say Asia. I would just say Thailand. Um, that's that was the least expensive country I've ever been to. That's the only country where I've taken a trip and I've had money left over. Thai chicks I believe are the most attractive Asian women in my opinion. The food is great. Thai food is probably one of the best in the world. Definitely top three. And it's the land of smiles for a reason. Women can be very friendly and nice, affectionate. So those are places that I would promote, and places that I don't really care for or have a lot of negative opinion. I let people know that I don't like a country by not talking about it. So if I'm not talking about your favorite country, it's because it's not, it doesn't check the boxes for me. So But yeah, that's all I got, man. Let me see. KBJ Fly said, "Stop crying, open your mouth, and suck the milk." But yeah, I appreciate the chat. Oh, I just enable memberships, man. You know, I know a lot of you guys support a lot of brothers, man. So you might be stretched out, man. But if somebody could support the channel, man, and be my first member, I'm trying to get up to 10. You know, I added some cool things to the membership to make the chat fun. So the membership $2.99 a month. You know, if people can you know, at least be a member for a month, man, it'll help out a lot. So just asking people to do that if you can. But yeah, this your boy No Excuse of the Passport Bros podcast. I'll be tuning in to you guys next week when I'm in Colombia. Peace out.